I don't know if any of you caught the FAC this morning, but I let out my frustration of the FAC. As a financial person, I deal with facts and figures, not politics. I learned in D.C. to stay out of politics, working for presidents and cabinet secretaries. But this morning, I expected a 5-minute meeting turned into 4 hours about this discussion of Rhode Island and OPEB. Just from the city's, from our viewpoint, the financial director's viewpoint, I'm extremely frustrated to have just heard that discussion again. Why? I don't know about you, but people who are in the public or just seeing this are now probably assuming that we are just like the state of Rhode Island and in bad shape with our pensions. That's false. I'm assuming from this conversation that the public thinks that we don't have a good pension board, trustees on those pensions, that we don't look at the investment of those pensions, and that we're not funding our obligations. False. For the past 13 months, yes, it's been over a year, guys, I have spent a lot of time chasing down numbers that are false, and it frustrates me, and I let that frustration out. Why? Because first of all, there was, once the FAC, this presentation that they made January the 9th, then there was a big boo-ha about making sure that this very presentation was done prior to the contract negotiations. All right? Because he wanted to hear, the council wanted to hear. Well, that's fine, but if you're going to hear something, hear the facts and the truths and the numbers. All right? So yes, I'm frustrated because I personally have spent a lot of time with my staff correcting numbers. So after this presentation was done, the very first thing that I was asked to do was verify these numbers. The numbers were wrong that were presented at January the 9th. I had to go chase down numbers back to 2002, 2003, and here I'm showing you the correct numbers according to what was presented. I'm hearing tonight again, and I think that we squared this away with the FAC, that the impression is being created that our pensions are underfunded, that we have 176, 191 million sitting out there that one day we're going to be slapped in the face to pay. But the main thing that I'm hearing, you know, I've read the letter to the editor, I've read numbers out there of 6 or 8 billion. Well, they're not true. All right? I think that the impression is being given, and what my main frustration is, that the city employees and these unions came together as a group, stood together and resolved a very immediate short-term problem to the tune of $3.2 million per year. Then the city and the unions, the employees got together, they took the pay cuts. I used myself as an example this morning that I came here at half the pay. Okay, I came here for quality of life. I brought my family here. And I'm very proud to be living here in this city. And what I'm hearing out there is that there's this big crisis, that we have financial doom and gloom. That's not true. And what's very, very, very frustrating is that people here, like myself, I'm taking a 2% pay cut. I was brought here below the midpoint. I was then given HR responsibilities, fleet, facilities, risk management, and real estate. Nobody gave me a penny for any of that, and now I'm taking a 2% cut. So I'm very frustrated when I read that the employees are not stepping up to the plate, the unions and the Slick Six and all this kind of stuff. It's not true. The city did very well by its employees and by the unions. Matter of fact, as part of those negotiations, we got an agreement to do an experience study, which is done periodically here, despite what's being said. It's done. These pension boards, I attended the meetings. I was given the leeway to ask a lot of questions of the investments. We had the investment committee, the guys who do the funds were in. They explained the balances, the investments, how much they made. So I can tell you that I get the feeling, and the employees of the city get the feeling, that we didn't step up to the plate. I've read that I'm being criticized because nobody knew about the 2-3 split. That's not true. Council knew that that's what we were going to do. I've read that the council wasn't kept up to date. I'm sorry, but within 50 minutes we were done. How could I keep you up to date? But city manager and I updated every one of you immediately afterwards. So I can tell you that as we're getting the experience study done, The union stepped up to the plate and did agree to reopen those things that affect pension and OPEB benefits. What more could we, the city, want? So I'm very frustrated. We have an actuary sitting here. We have the pension board sitting here. Your finance director for the second time today, third time in a week, talking about pensions. Let me explain OPEB. OPEB is like a mortgage. A lot of you guys, when you go do your HUD ones, are probably very surprised when you get there that you took out an interest of a $300,000 loan at an interest rate of 4 3/4, whatever, and you're going to pay $675,000 over 30 years. Do y'all fall apart and don't get the house? No. You realize that that is an outstanding payment. If you never make a payment for the 30 years, that's how much you owe. While the city, contrary to popular belief, pays 100% of its annual cost. 100%. We're not delinquent. So it's like I've said, it's like all your debts piled up, and 30 years from now, it might be $192 million. Now, in that $192 million, you have 8 major assumptions. Interest, and the 8% is only one small part of it. We also have other assumptions in there that we are going to get a 6 or 7% increase. Well, that hasn't happened. You know, there's big actuarial losses that happened from 2008. Well, we have to make those up, and they're being made up over a 10-year period. There's negative returns. But if you choose to look at the facts, you'll see that these funds have been making about 8.42% over the last 10 years. That assumption has been met. So I'm not sure if I see the purpose. I've heard about police powers tonight. What do you think our citizens are thinking now? I'm trying to tell you, and I told the FAC this morning, and I want to reassure the citizens of this county, this city. I live here. I have my family here. If I thought we were in disarray or I wasn't going to get a pension in 10 years, I would not be here. And it's very frustrating to hear numbers put out there that are incorrect or we have to chase down. And that has been happening the 13 months I've been here. I applaud the unions for coming in and voluntarily giving us a solution that took 50 minutes for police. I apologize that fire took 2 hours because they had 32 articles we had to get through. We had to talk about their underwear. How much we're going to reimburse them for T-shirts and underwear. It took 2 hours. So there's just a lot of negativity, and there's one thing I want you, the council, if nothing else, you may want to fire me after tonight, that's okay, I'll probably make more elsewhere. But you need you need to understand that we work very hard. I believe that you guys know that I was able to say that when we refinanced last year 2 bonds, we saved $90 million over a 30-year period. Here's how that happened. The city was managing its finances, and it got an upgrade to the S&P rating because we were able to demonstrate that we're in charge of our finances and we, the city, are moving forward in bad times. Now, when it gets out into the media that we're going to go broke or we have these police powers and this, that, and the other thing, how many hours do you think I spent after today's meeting talking to our credit agencies about, oh my God, you're going bankrupt. You didn't tell me that. We're going to sue you. This frustrates me because the big picture here is not just about Rhode Island, but it doesn't even apply here to this city. It's about our credit rating. We're ready to start, or I believe the council, wouldn't surprise me if the council decides to restart the UEP. I bet you that if you decide to do that, it's going to cost us $85 to $100 million. Now, if you're an investor or out doing the credit rating, do you want to hear about how the employees of this city took a historic pay cut, contributed more to pensions, are resolving the immediate financial issues, and also looking to long term, and we're in charge of our finances, so don't downgrade my rating to I pay more interest? Or do you want to hear the fact? The fact is the staff of this and the citizens here have worked positively to move this city forward. The thing I'll leave you with also is this morning, someone on the FAC wanted to bring up a report on the CAFR from 2009. 2009. And what they wanted to bring up was an inaccurate report that was withdrawn by the auditors and later corrected. So why are we bringing up something from 2009 that says the financial, deteriorating the financial condition of this city when the auditor admitted that was wrong, the Auditor General admitted it was wrong, and it was corrected? So what I would like to see is that the city and the employees continue to work together like we've been doing with this council to move this city forward and stop worrying about in 2005, 2009, and last year. We looked at the budget. You'll probably see me come back in a couple of weeks with the budget to where we're a little bit better off than we thought we'd be because the union stepped up to the plate. So yes, I was frustrated. That's it.